a country where you walk above the clouds. Imagine a bridge, suspended in the clouds at an altitude of 1,400 meters. Two massive stone hands hold it, as if a great force has lifted a mountain and allowed you to pass beneath it. On one side of the bridge, mountains rise. On the other, a vast expanse. Winds move, clouds drift. And then suddenly, like a curtain opening in a theater, the clouds part, revealing a 1,400-meter drop before you. This is an ordinary morning in Vietnam. With a population of over 100 million, a rich mix of ethnic groups, and thousands of kilometers of coastline, Vietnam stands as one of the world's most fascinating travel destinations. It is one of the largest cashew processors and exporters globally, the second largest coffee producer, and a rising hub attracting the attention of Silicon Valley startups. From Michelin-recognized street food to dynamic urban innovation, all of this exists within one country, Vietnam. As one of the most exciting destinations in Southeast Asia, Vietnam combines a young population with a fast-growing economy. Welcoming millions of visitors each year, it has become a highlight of global tourism, the rising dragon of Southeast Asia. While the North experiences 4 distinct seasons, the South has 2. This climate contrast shapes not only the landscapes, but also the architecture, cuisine, and way of life. The Vietnamese language itself feels musical, each word like a note. A single syllable can carry 6 different meanings, depending on tone. For example, ma can mean mother in one tone, and ghost in another. Speaking Vietnamese is like creating music. Prepare your drinks, because our journey to Vietnam begins now. The city reclaimed by the forest. In the early 1900s, those seeking relief from the intense heat of Da Nang established a mountain retreat at 1,500 meters above sea level. By the 1940s, it was abandoned, left to the forest, which slowly consumed it, turning it into ruins. That is, until the 2000s, one of the most remarkable transformations in Vietnam's history. The first step, a cable car system. But this is no ordinary cable car. Stretching 5,801 meters, it holds the Guinness World Record as the longest non-stop cable car line in the world. Opened in 2013, the journey takes about 20 minutes. Below you, tropical forests and cascading waterfalls. You keep rising, higher and higher, until suddenly you're inside the clouds, like flying. Then you cross to the other side, and Ba Na Hills appears before you, a complex that feels as if it has been lifted straight out of medieval Europe. French-inspired architecture blends with unique design, cathedrals, plazas, and grand structures. Each year, more than 5 million visitors ascend to this city in the clouds. And then, the moment arrives, the Golden Bridge. When it opened in 2018, it captured global attention and was even listed among the world's greatest places by Time magazine. 2 giant stone hands hold the bridge within the clouds. It stretches 150 meters long at an altitude of 1,400 meters above sea level. Though the hands appear weathered, they are newly built, symbolizing the idea of divine hands lifting a mountain. A masterpiece of architecture and design, The bridge was created by Vietnamese architect Hoi An and constructed in just 1 year. Walking across it feels like drifting through a dream. Mountains on one side, soft white clouds on the other. At times, the clouds become so dense, you cannot see even a step ahead. And when they clear, a dramatic 1,500-meter drop lies beneath your feet. A truly unforgettable, once-in-a-lifetime view. Let me leave you with a question. What is the name of the architect who designed this bridge? You'll find the answer at the end of the video. A place where time stands still. In the Gulf of Tonkin, more than 1,000 limestone islands rise from emerald waters. Formed over millions of years, this labyrinth of islands feels like a frozen moment in time. Towering rock formations stand like ancient sentinels along the horizon. Hidden within them are caves that seem to guard the secrets of ancient worlds. Stalactites hang from ceilings like natural fossils suspended in time. Floating fishing villages preserve traditions passed down through generations. Traditional wooden boats glide across the water, carrying visitors through sea canyons where light and shadow dance across vertical cliffs. At sunrise, when the first rays of light touch the surface, the bay transforms into a vast mirror reflecting the sky. The biodiversity here is equally extraordinary. Hundreds of species of fish and mollusks, some found nowhere else on Earth. Each year, millions of visitors arrive, and as tourism grows, so do conservation efforts. Single-use plastics are banned, boat numbers are limited, and environmental protection projects continue to expand. Ha Long is more than a destination. It is a way of life. Families live on floating villages, fishing, cultivating oysters, and producing pearls, some in the very same floating homes passed down through generations. Ha Long is more than a destination. It is a way of life. Families live on floating villages, fishing, cultivating oysters, and producing pearls, some in the very same floating homes passed down through generations. Here, nature exists entirely on its own terms. Humans are merely visitors. By boat, you can pass through narrow passages and discover hidden lagoons at the mouths of caves. In the early morning mist, drifting between these towering formations feels like stepping outside of time. A light festival that returns every night. By day, skilled hands craft bamboo frames and weave vibrant silk. Lanterns hang patiently in front of shops, waiting for nightfall. Beneath the curved roofs of merchant houses, thousands of lanterns are prepared, ready for the evening. And as the sun sets, the festival begins. Red, yellow, blue, green, countless lanterns illuminate one by one, lighting up the ancient stone streets. Their glow shimmers across the dark waters of the Thu Bon River, reflecting onto old walls and creating a timeless atmosphere around the iconic Japanese covered bridge. Hoi An is an ancient port city with deep historical roots, a vital stop along the maritime Silk Road, and a recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site. Between the 15th and 19th centuries, it was one of Southeast Asia's most important trading ports. Merchants from China, Japan, the Netherlands, and Portugal gathered here. Silk, porcelain, spices, and precious metals were exchanged. Through this trade, the city flourished, growing richer, more refined, and more beautiful with time. The Japanese covered bridge, known locally as Chua Kao, was built in the late 16th century by the Japanese community. It serves not only as a bridge, but also as a temple, and today stands as a symbol of Hoi An, so iconic that it appears on Vietnam's 20,000 dong banknote. On the 14th day of every lunar month, the city turns off all electric lights. Only lanterns remain. Thousands gather in the streets, releasing floating lanterns onto the river, each carrying a wish. Watching the reflections from a quiet boat away from the crowds reveals the true soul of Hoi An. The city is also famous for its tailors. Within a single day, they can create custom suits, dresses, and even shoes. Celebrities, diplomats, and business figures from around the world come here for bespoke craftsmanship. Although the old town lies about 4 kilometers inland, the nearby beaches and Bang and Kua Dai offer breathtaking scenery with white sand and gentle waves. Every evening, fishermen return with fresh seafood, which is served the same night in beachfront restaurants. Just outside the city, a different kind of adventure awaits. In Kam Than village, you can explore coconut forest waterways and traditional round bamboo basket boats designed centuries ago for navigating shallow waters. Now a symbol of local ingenuity. Before we leave Hoi An, here's a question for you. On which night each month does the city turn off its electric lights and glow only with lanterns? Keep that in mind. We'll return to it at the end of the video. Now, the journey continues. The city of contrasts. Da Nang lies between the Marble Mountains and the South China Sea, a place where opposites meet. At night, its bridges transform into rivers of light. The famous Dragon Bridge breathes real fire on weekends, drawing thousands of people to the banks of the Han River to witness the spectacle. Stretching 666 meters and illuminated by 2,500 LED lights, the bridge changes colors each evening. Nearby, the Han River Bridge glows softly, its reflection dancing across the water. The Marble Mountains hide temples carved into stone. Buddhist monks pray inside natural caves, while incense smoke rises into the air, creating a peaceful, spiritual atmosphere. Forbes has listed Da Nang among the most livable cities in Asia. With a young population and a rapidly growing economy, the city has expanded significantly in recent years. Startups emerge, technology companies invest, and digital nomads choose to settle here. Da Nang leaves a lasting impression like a memory that follows you long after you've gone. The last forest of Vietnam. North of Da Nang, a peninsula rises from the sea like a natural fortress. Son Tra preserves a vast forest ecosystem and serves as one of the most important habitats in Vietnam for the endangered red-shanked Duc langur. These rare primates move gracefully through the treetops. At the highest point stands the Lady Buddha statue, rising 67 meters above the landscape. Nearby, an 800-year-old banyan tree spreads its massive roots and branches, offering shelter to monks, soldiers, and travelers across generations. Mai Chau Beach, with its long stretch of soft sand and rolling waves, attracts surfers from around the world. Echoes of a lost kingdom. Deep within Vietnam's forests, hidden among dense vegetation, lie more than 70 ancient temples. Built gradually over centuries, they belong to the lost kingdom of Champa. Their carvings tell stories thousands of years old. Constructed with remarkable precision, the temples were built by fitting stone blocks together seamlessly. The techniques used to fire the red bricks still intrigue researchers today. Archaeologists and historians continue to decode inscriptions that may reveal the secrets of their construction. Older than Angkor Wat, yet far less known, Mai Sun remains quietly preserved within the forest, guarding the legacy of a forgotten civilization. Turquoise waters and a world of coral. Nha Trang is one of Vietnam's most important coastal cities, with a long stretch of white sandy beach facing the South China Sea. Mountains rise behind the city, while the open ocean extends before it, creating a unique and striking geography. Beneath the surface lies another world. Coral reefs provide habitat for dozens of marine species, forming a vibrant underwater ecosystem. The culture of island hopping thrives here. Visitors explore nearby islands by boat, discovering a new experience with each stop. Hon Moon Island is designated as a marine protected area, where biodiversity beneath the water is truly remarkable. Within the city, the Po Nagar Cham Towers have stood for centuries. Dating back to the 8th century and built by the Champa civilization, these towers remain an active place of worship today. The scent of incense fills the air. Nha Trang transforms twice a day. By day, a serene paradise of blue waters. By night, one of Vietnam's most vibrant coastal cities. The City of Clouds. At 1,500 meters above sea level, there is a city unlike anywhere else in Southeast Asia. Dalat wakes each morning wrapped in mist. Its pastel-colored facades and sloping rooftops carry the charm of a more recent past. But right beside them stands the Crazy House, breaking every rule of architecture, bringing together tree trunks, giant animal forms, and spiral passages in a truly extraordinary way. Hidden waterfalls pour into deep valleys. Century-old pine forests create a microclimate rarely found in Southeast Asia. Along the slopes, layered Arabica coffee plantations produce some of Vietnam's finest coffee for the world. Ancient Buddhist pagodas, with curved rooftops and golden details, preserve centuries of spiritual tradition. In every corner of the city, incense smoke and the chants of monks create a deep sense of peace. In the evening, the night market in the city center comes alive. Vietnamese street food and handmade crafts bring locals and visitors together. Dalat is not a simple city, it is colorful through its diversity. The Sahara of tropical Vietnam, the red desert of Mui Ne. Sand dunes move like waves. In complete contrast to tropical Vietnam, this place feels like a small Sahara. Fishermen wake before dawn, setting out in round boats made from woven bamboo baskets coated with resin. Using techniques passed down through generations, they continue to fish in the same waters. With millions of years of geological history, the red cliffs add dramatic color to the landscape. Small canyons, streams, and oases where coconut palms grow complete this remarkable scenery. The land of the Cham. Here, dry earth meets the sea. Phan Rang rises between sand dunes and vineyards. Grapes grow here in a way rarely seen elsewhere in Vietnam. Sea air and sunlight give the fruit a distinctive flavor in this region. Along the coast, salt workers labor on the wide salt flats, following the rhythm of the tides. In the villages, traditional houses with woven palm roofs protect families from the sun. The Cham people keep their past alive through traditional dances and ancient songs. The region's historical heritage can still be felt across these lands. The world beneath the water. In the South China Sea, the underwater world of Vinh Hy is a magnificent environment where corals and hundreds of tropical fish move through the currents. The bay lies between the mountains of Nui Chua National Park. Local fishermen still use traditional techniques here. Rock and sea are locked in a constant struggle. For thousands of years, waves have carved the cliffs into shape. Life in the bay repeats itself through the changing seasons and tides, just as it has for centuries. The city where history flows through the streets. Home to around 8 million people, Hanoi has been Vietnam's capital since 1010 AD. The city was built on the Red River Delta, and its name means the city inside the river. The Old Quarter, with its 36 streets, reflects Hanoi's historic trading character, while the imperial citadel of Thang Long stands out as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Old Quarter is like a maze where every street carries a centuries-old story. A few examples: Hang Bak, Silver Street; Hang Ma, Paper Street; Hang Gai, Silk Street. These craft streets, established in the 11th century, are still alive today. Artisans carve wood, forge iron, and create jewelry just as their ancestors did for generations. Through this maze, a train passes twice a day, only a few meters away from homes and shops. When the bell rings, cafe owners pull tables inside. Street vendors move aside, the train passes, and life continues. From the outside, it looks almost unbelievable. Hoan Kiem Lake dominates the heart of the city. According to a 15th century legend, King Leloi found a magical sword here and used it to end Chinese occupation. After the victory, a giant turtle took the sword back. Truth or legend? What makes it even more fascinating is that Hoan Kiem Lake's famous giant turtle was captured for treatment in 2011. and when it died in 2016, the city mourned deeply. At the Temple of Literature, students still touch the heads of stone turtles for good luck in exams. And we cannot leave Hanoi without talking about coffee. Vietnam is the world's second largest coffee producer, right after Brazil. Sa Fe Suada, strong brewed coffee, sweet condensed milk, and ice. An experience best enjoyed while sitting on a small plastic stool. Then there is Hanoi's own Trung Cai Phi egg coffee, a creamy mixture of egg yolk and sweetened milk layered over strong coffee. The first sip brings surprise, the second brings love, the third brings addiction. Interesting, isn't it? And throughout Hanoi, you can find delicious food at consistent quality and affordable prices. In the evening, thousands of motorbikes fill the streets, their headlights lighting up the city as they move. Hanoi never stops. Every corner is alive. Before we leave Hanoi, here's a small question. What does the name of this city mean? And on which river delta was it built? We'll save the answer for the end of the video. Now, the next stop is calling us. Ha Long on land. Limestone mountains rise from rice fields. Known as Vietnam's ancient capital and often called Ha Long on land, Ninh Binh is one of the country's most remarkable regions. UNESCO has recognized it as both a natural and cultural heritage site, the only place in Vietnam with this dual status. In Tom Cock, the river flows between rock formations rising toward the sky. Rowers guide their boats using old techniques. Oars and water birds seem to keep rhythm together. Bich Dong Pagoda climbs across 3 mountain levels, revealing caves once used by generations of Buddhist monks for meditation. In Trang An, the river passes through valleys and caves. The ceilings of the stone arches are so low that visitors in boats sometimes have to lean back to pass beneath them. Everywhere there are caves, and in every cave, different curves shaped by time. A hidden treasure. Nestled among the mountains of northern Vietnam, Mai Chau is a valley where the white Thai people have lived in harmony with the land for over 700 years. Their bamboo and wooden stilt houses are built about 2 meters above the rice fields to protect against monsoon rains. Beneath these homes, space is used for weaving looms and raising poultry. Thai women weave vibrant fabrics on traditional looms, using cotton and silk to create patterns that tell stories of mountains and rivers. An ancient irrigation system still nourishes the rice fields today. As evening falls, mist descends from the mountains, and village lights begin to glow across the valley like stars. Far from the crowds, Mai Chau remains authentic, peaceful, and untouched, one of Vietnam's lesser-known gems. Stairs to the sky. This region is now attracting more visitors, documentary filmmakers, and photographers alike. The reason is simple. In September and October, golden rice terraces create one of the most breathtaking landscapes shaped by human hands. Covering around 2,200 hectares, these terraces transform mountain slopes into stairways reaching toward the sky. The Hmong people have lived here for centuries. In May, the flooded rice fields reflect the sky like thousands of mirrors. June brings the fresh green of young plants. By September, harvest season paints the terraces in gold. Clouds drift across the mountains, casting moving shadows over the fields. Farmers continue to work these steep terraces, using techniques passed down through generations. Life here is shaped by the rhythm of rain. Seen from above, like a bird flying over the mountains, Cang Chai reveals one of the most striking landscapes in all of Vietnam. The roof of Indochina. The mountains of northern Vietnam rise like natural stairways into the sky. The rice terraces of Sapa stretch for hundreds of kilometers, shaped by centuries of labor from the Hmong and Dao communities. Water flows from one level to another through irrigation systems created thousands of years ago. These terraces follow the natural lines of the mountains, changing color with the seasons and offering extraordinary views. Towering above it all is Fansipan, standing at 3,147 meters. Until 2016, reaching the summit required a challenging 2-day trek. Today, a 6,292-meter cable car, one of the longest in the world, takes visitors to the top in just 15 minutes. At the summit, a modern Buddhist temple complex has been built. On clear days, you can even see toward the Chinese border. Sapa stands as a living example of humanity's patient dialogue with nature. Before we leave, a quick question. By what title is this peak known? We'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. Now, let's continue the journey. Where mountains meet the sky. At Vietnam's northernmost edge lies Ha Giang. A land where mountains touch the sky and roads disappear into the clouds. The No Quay River cuts through the landscape, carving deep gorges as it flows like a turquoise ribbon among countless shades of green. On the slopes, Hmong and Dao communities cultivate buckwheat. The mountains change color with the season's white blossoms in spring, fields of red and purple flowers in autumn. The Ha Giang Loop, stretching across the Dong Van Karst Plateau, is considered one of the most remarkable motorbike routes in the world. Recognized as a UNESCO Global Geopark, this plateau holds fossils dating back around 300 million years. With every turn of the road comes a new view, and beyond each hill, a new village. Women dye fabrics using indigo grown in the valleys and wear traditional handmade clothing. Weekly markets bring people together from distant villages, more like a gathering than a place of trade. Life here still follows the rhythm of seasons and harvests. The sound of the border. The Ban Gioc waterfall cascades from a height of around 30 meters, creating rainbows within its mist. Water flows over limestone terraces, forming natural pools where life thrives. The Ki Sun River winds through the mountains, marking the border between Vietnam and China as it passes through fertile valleys and rice fields. As one of the largest transnational waterfalls in the world, Ban Gioc has become a favorite location for international documentary filmmakers in recent years. Villages are scattered across the valleys, Women weave fabrics on traditional looms, while men plant rice according to the lunar calendar. Each harvest becomes a festival, and each festival lives on through the patterns woven into cloth. As we leave this landscape, here's one final question. From approximately how many meters does this waterfall fall, and on which river is it located? We'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. The journey continues. The spirit of Saigon never changed. Here, the population density is intense. It is Vietnam's economic capital, a symbol of the future. The name has changed, but many still call it Saigon. Landmark 81 rises 461 meters, making it one of the tallest buildings in Southeast Asia and the world. From the top floor, you can witness Vietnam's transformation unfold before your eyes. Historic buildings on one side, modern skyscrapers on the other. Nguyen Hue Walking Street, converted into a pedestrian zone in 2015, fills with life every evening: families, couples, friends, street performers, and musicians. At its entrance, the statue of Ho Chi Minh looks out over the city. The Notre Dame Cathedral Basilica of Saigon was built in 1880 with bricks imported from Marseille. The Central Post Office, often associated with Gustave Eiffel, but more commonly linked to Marie-Alfred Foulou, features high ceilings, an iron framework, and a large portrait of Ho Chi Minh. Still functioning today, it draws visitors who come to send postcards from this historic setting. Ben Thanh Market has stood at the heart of the city since 1914, offering everything from local goods to street food, where bargaining culture is still alive. The Reunification Palace marks a turning point in history. And beneath the surface lies the Cu Chi Tunnels, a 250-kilometer network of narrow tunnels, some only 80 centimeters high. Within these layers are hospitals, kitchens, storage areas, and even a small theater. To truly understand Saigon, you must look at it from above and then descend below. Both perspectives reveal the same city, the same Vietnam. The land of 9 dragons. The Mekong River begins in Tibet, flows 4,350 kilometers through 6 countries, and splits into 9 branches as it reaches Vietnam. Locals call it the River of 9 Dragons. This vast water network sustains over 17 million people. It is Vietnam's rice bowl, orchard, and fish farm. Can Tho, the heart of the delta, is the largest city in southern Vietnam. Every morning, hundreds of boats depart from its piers. The Cai Rang floating market awakens before dawn. Boats gather on the water, trading fruits and vegetables, sharing stories, and connecting communities. Each boat specializes: mango boats, pineapple boats, dragon fruit boats. To advertise their goods, sellers hang their products on tall poles at the bow, visible from afar. A trading tradition that has lasted for centuries. The only true way to explore the delta is by boat. Large rivers welcome motorboats, but to experience the real delta, you must enter the narrow canals. Palm trees, mango orchards, and floating homes line the waterways. Mangrove forests form another world, roots rising from the mud, shaded by moss and home to crabs. At sunset, village lights reflect on the water. Within the Mekong Delta, it is easy to lose your sense of direction and perhaps your sense of time. Masters of red bricks. In the Mekong Delta, there is a village where generations have shaped river clay into the red bricks that built entire cities. Traditional kilns rise like watchtowers, their smoke reaching into the sky. Fires never go out, only the hands that work them change, continuing the same techniques. Clay is taken from the river, pressed into molds, and fired in kilns. More than 1 million bricks are produced each month. There is no automations, every piece is still checked by hand. The village preserves its past, not machines, but hands, not speed, but patience. The smoky horizon of Mang Thit and the silhouettes of riverside kilns reveal another face of Vietnam. Vietnam's Pearl Island. In the Gulf of Thailand, about 45 kilometers off the coast of Cambodia, lies Phu Quoc, Vietnam's largest island, covering 574 square kilometers. Since the opening of its international airport in 2012 and its designation as an island city in 2021, followed by administrative restructuring in 2025, Phu Quoc has rapidly transformed. In recent years, visitor numbers have reached into the millions. Sao Beach and Starfish Beach rank among the most beautiful beaches in the world. Soft white sand beneath your feet, crystal clear waters where fish swim around you. Long Beach stretches for 20 kilometers. At sunset, as the sun slowly disappears into the Gulf of Thailand, the sky turns into a breathtaking painting. Pearl farming is one of the island's traditional livelihoods. Since the 1990s, some of the world's finest pearls have been produced here. At pearl farms, you can observe the entire process. Divers bring up oysters cultivated for 3 to 5 years, each one carefully opened, revealing, if you are lucky, a perfect sphere in shades of cream, pink, or even rare black. Phu Quoc is changing fast. By your next visit, it may feel like a completely different place. Contrasting beauty and history. About 185 kilometers off the mainland, 16 islands rise from the South China Sea. Con Dao holds diverse facets, its stunning natural beauty contrasting with its historical depth. The island was once home to a significant prison system in Indochina, and its remaining structures serve as silent witnesses to a complex past. Yet the natural side of the island is entirely different. Sea turtles come ashore to lay eggs on untouched beaches. Forests cover much of the archipelago. Dugongs, among the last in Vietnam, graze beneath the water. Con Dao is one of the rare places in the world where the weight of history and the innocence of nature exist side by side. The world's largest cave system. Phong Nha National Park contains over 126 kilometers of underground tunnels, with rivers flowing silently in the darkness. Among them lies Son Doong Cave, so vast that it could fit a New York skyscraper inside. Collapsed ceilings open into vast chambers where underground jungles grow. Some spaces are the size of cathedrals. Researchers continue to discover unexplored passages. Until 1990, Son Doong was unknown to the outside world, discovered accidentally by a local farmer. Inside the cave exists a unique ecosystem, its own clouds, its own winds, even its own rain. Sunlight filters through collapsed openings, illuminating the underground forest. While temperatures outside may reach 35 degrees Celsius, inside the cave it remains below 20 degrees Celsius. Every journey into Phong Nha is an expedition into the unknown. The spirit of Vietnam. Kilometers of coastline, diverse ethnic groups, and thousands of years of history. Vietnam is not a simple country. It is layered, complex, and full of contrasts. Between the north and the south lies over 1,000 kilometers, almost like two different worlds. Hanoi is calm, traditional, and reserved. Ho Chi Minh City is dynamic, open, and modern. Yet both belong to the same nation, Vietnam. Despite the challenges in its history, the country continues to grow and evolve. A young, educated generation connected to the world is shaping its future. Vietnam is preparing to become one of Asia's rising economic powers. Perhaps the true beauty of Vietnam lies in simple moments. The smile of a street vendor, the strong hands of a craftsman, the joyful laughter of a child. Vietnam is not just a place to see, it is a place to feel, to taste, to experience. One final question remains. Vietnam is calling you. Are you ready? Throughout this journey, we asked 5 questions. Now, it's time for the answers. The architect who designed the Golden Bridge at Ba Na Hills is Hoi An, the mind behind the iconic Hands of God concept, now one of the most photographed structures in the world. Hoi An turns off its electric lights on the 14th night of each lunar month, during the full moon. On that night, the city is illuminated only by lanterns, and wishes are released onto the river, a tradition that brings the city back to life each month. Hanoi means the city inside the river, and was built on the Red River Delta, a name that captures the essence of the city in a single phrase. Ban Gioc waterfall cascades from approximately 30 meters and lies on the Ki Sun River, one of the largest transnational waterfalls in the world. And finally, Fansipan, at 3,147 meters, holds the title of the Roof of Indochina, the highest peak across Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. All the answers of Vietnam can only truly be found there, in its streets, its waters, and its mountains. Vietnam is waiting for you.